Okay, Gemini, I thought I would do an additional read for all of you, some of you, whoever this resonates for. I know there was something in the last reading that seemed to come off as a little bit heavier energy, so I was hoping for something more positive. I did really focus more so on money and career for the month of June. But again, I'm seeing some duplicates in some of the cards here, but I'm still going to go ahead and read it anyway, just to hopefully there is something here that will help to give you a little bit more insight or a positive sort of take on things, because there are some positive cards here. Sometimes when I'm doing a reading, I do see some of the cards being more reflective of a particular aspect of the journey, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only aspect. So let's just kind of get into it and see where things go. Okay, so first of all, sorry, I'm going to have some problems talking today, clearly. Anyway, first of all, what I am seeing here with the birth card is that we are looking at something that is going to be an idea or something that you're trying to come up with here. I feel like it's in terms of money. I did post some clarifiers, and again, it looks like you're in strategy mode here, trying to figure out a new idea to bring in some kind of an opportunity or something in around your finances to restore the balance of things. And then again, just going through it generally, and then I'll go through it more specifically. Knight of Swords is an energy of taking action. So I don't feel like you're just idly contemplating things here. The Swords energy tells me that you are actually strategically and actively taking some form of mindful action and fairly swift idea that's coming in here as well to go about and bring about some of this extra resources. I feel like you're hanging on to your money as well in the month of June, and it doesn't look as though there's going to be a lot of sudden maneuvers. However, there is some very, very, very strong energy when I look at this as a whole. The birth card is, of course, something that is quite strong, and it is really more of a major arcana for me, as is the phoenix rising from the ashes. So there's something that's being renewed inside of you that is helping you to kind of regenerate, see things in a new light. I don't feel like you're going back to your old spaces, old ideas, that kind of thing. I think you're looking into newer things for the month of June in terms of resources, or at least expanding things, because it's almost like with the cracker energy, there's just something that kind of ignites you again and gives you a little bit of hope, especially in terms of goals and dreams and ambitions and the, motivation to get there. That Chariot card also stands for all of that. So, you've got a lot more confidence in something that is that you feel is changing within you. So because of those changes, I feel that is where a lot of the positive energy is coming out. However, there is some cards here, like I said, that are in around some toxicity. So I feel like there is definitely a spark of something new in terms of an idea that's coming in. It's the devil energy here that's come out several times. It seems to be more of the concern for me. So maybe we'll go back to that, but it feels like there is something that you have to, some kind of emotional baggage here that you're sort of dealing with internally and or maybe externally as well. And I feel like with that cracker card, this normally would be straight positive energy, and maybe in some regard it is still a positive card that is going to either it starts out positive or it ends up positive, but it is still more the stronger impact. But there is some resistance around what it is that you're, or some competing energy in what you're trying to do here. That Knight of Cups is a pretty good offer of something that is, going to be successful in terms of, yes, if it's a job or something extra that you're trying to do, I do feel that will come about here in this month. Again, the devil energy, I can't quite pinpoint what that is entirely, because normally it does reflect, all of the toxic elements that could be around as far as, emotional baggage, too much aggression, which I kind of think it's in that direction. Because I do see the Chariot, which is a very, aggressive, assertive kind of take charge kind of card. Plus we also have, it is followed by the Devil. So that is the card of Capricorn energy as well, coming through here. But It also stands for energy of being extremely, almost too assertive, too aggressive, too maybe stubborn in the way something is going about, because it's even followed with the cards of the victory card. You know, as much as a victory is a great thing, it's also coupled with all of this energy. To me, this really stands out as more of you know, kind of winning at all costs, because the 5 is about some kind of a battle or a change here. But it's, you know, it's almost as though whatever you're deciding to do here, it's positive in that you're succeeding with, you know, getting the job or getting the opportunity or getting something that is going to kind of move in your favor here. But again, I'm almost wondering if this means that it's a short-lived situation because of that devil energy, or if it's a little too premature to be too hopeful and excited, or there's something that's not quite worked out yet that kind of pulls that back in some way. It somehow interferes with the direction. It interferes with the direction or the success of that direction. It's somehow holding you back, because I do see, you know, further out, I was asking for sort of what the outcome cards would be, and it looks as though as a father figure here, there is some element that you are getting a strong idea that is going to propel you forward. I do see family support here, but there's also a lot of confusion. There's confusion still within the family here as well, and your options seem to be something is confusing you here. So as I said, there's something that is, I might pull an extra card here and just sort of see where that goes here as well. But we'll kind of go back into this other energy here and dive a little deeper. And just because I've got the one hand here, because I'm just going to pull another card here as far as what is that devil energy? What is the devil energy? What is the devil energy? Okay, it looks like the devil energy has something to do with either your energy or you're in a passive stance, or we'll sort of explore that a little bit more here too. But what is the confusion? What is all the confusion about? It's almost like I'm getting the feeling like you don't want to see something. There's something to do with a child here. What is it they don't want to see? It's a youthful, younger energy. Okay, there's a tower moment here with the devil. That's not a great combination. What is the tower? What is the tower? Something is not, you're going to have to rely on your intuition here to pull you out of it. What is the tower around? This could be, there's an end cycle here. What is coming to a close? Yeah, you're transitioning out of something here. Is this a loss of money with the devil? Stuck. You feel stuck. Okay. So it looks like that's maybe more where what the idea is here, is that you have something that you're feeling very confident about, but something is not pulling through as though you'd hoped. There is still that stuck energy. Something is causing you some confusion. Could be around a younger person here as well. Okay, so we'll get right into, again, the birth card. So starting out with the birth card, and again, this is still positive energy. This is still something that's hopeful to work with. This idea is, you know, is something that you can work with, but again, you still need to do something in addition to, I suspect, to kind of push things ahead to get a little extra cash flowing much more immediate. Because I did focus more on the career money aspect of things. So there is a new possibility here and an opportunity. There's something that is going to be transforming here. You are transformed by this idea as well. So you're kind of reinventing yourself or reinventing a situation. There is going to be something of a journey here that is about to start regardless. And again, I didn't focus so much on personal relationships, so I'm really not going to focus on it in that way. I'm just going to stay with, the start of a new business or a new idea or something that's in regards to a job, that kind of thing, because there is going to be some kind of regenerating, starting something up again in regards to a work situation, but somehow it's different this time. So you're drawn to a very passionate new start with ideas and that kind of thing, but it's almost as though you really do believe that you can achieve something for sure. And when I see the Phoenix here, I mean, this does tell me for sure that you see yourself in a new way here also. You are rising from the ashes. You're being renewed. There is also a renewal after a period of crisis. So whether that crisis is something that you're going through in the period of June, or this is a little more extended energy, because again, I see that devil energy and there's a lot of cards still around it that are very still heavier energy. So again, this is where you've, again, either just experienced some kind of crisis or something that's been very upsetting. But either way, it does represent some kind of change or symbol of freedom that is about to take place here. So you're moving into another chapter of your life, and I feel like this is where you have something that's going to emerge either way, whatever that is for you. So it's going to speak to you all a little bit differently. The cracker, again, because of all the cards that are surrounding it, I do feel like even though it can be positive excitement energy, just because of the surrounding cards with this one, it doesn't feel exactly to me that is, it may start out as a very positive energy, but I feel like you are still feeling very positive about the direction, but something just doesn't seem to be moving fast enough in a particular area for you. So it feels like you can't quite rely on something. The Chariot is a triumph over a difficulty. And of course, we do have that as the clarifier, down here as well. So it's almost as though there is something that comes through, maybe in the nick of time, but there's something around, I'm not quite sure what that is yet, but I'll just sort of feel it out and keep going. But anyway, with that Chariot, again, it's still dealing with some kind of level of competition, as is the card below, which was the Five of Wands. So there is a level of competition around. And then when I see a conquering energy here with the Six of Wands, again, it feels like, if there was some kind of issue, you may feel as though you've won something here, in regards to an argument possibly. But again, the Five of Wands is still that energy of not really a solid win. It's something that needs to change because, otherwise you just don't move ahead. But that Five of Wands does kind of steer you in the direction of you feeling maybe a little jealous or competitive, or someone else feels a little more jealous or competitive in a situation, and somehow that's interfering with, the scenario here. It does feel as though, like I said, in terms of work, there's a lot of competition, or you're just finding that you can't get ahead without really expelling a lot of energy into something. And maybe there is something new here that's coming through that you've not done before. And maybe that's why this is something that, arises here. But either way, I do feel like in terms of a work situation, you are facing a significant challenge. But, again, somehow you do end up on the other side of it with the Six of Wands. So something moves you forward. There's a victory here. So whether you get the job or get something, and it's a little further out into the month, but maybe that's why the toxic energy, where something doesn't come through fast enough to make a difference, but you are rising to the challenge nonetheless. And again, even with that Six of Wands as a victory card, I mean, it does still speak to a lot of hard work going into something, because it goes from the 5 to the 6. In terms of finances, it does mean that things are going to improve, but I don't see a lot of money that's coming in. It's more like the idea, the energy, the motivation, all of those characteristics are here, all of those qualities, but I don't actually see anything in terms of actual finance. So, so again, I mean, there's a change where, you're gaining something. It just isn't really showing up in the period that you know, for June that's going to make a significant enough difference to make a viable change. Okay, so I'll go back to these ones here in a second. So when I get back to that Chariot energy here, like I said, I mean, the Chariot is definitely still a card of, you know, a successful end to something, or at least it makes you feel like you've got a lot more control in a situation. And certainly when I see the Emperor out here too, I feel like it is being steered in that direction, and it does feel like you are, you know, headed in the right, you know, in the right area here where you can establish yourself in some way. But again, it feels like there is still some level of career difficulty or change or transition that is not allowing you to feel free, because you don't feel free or out of the woods yet, because that Devil energy, like I said, is still something that makes you feel bound or inner conflicts. There's still something here with the Chariot where you need to put out a lot more discipline, and there's got to be a lot more energy that is kind of allowing you to, like, a lot more willpower to really pull something off. That's what I would say here, because it almost feels like you could be pulled in two different directions, and only because I do see that Seven of Cups here as well. So there's an element of that where you're kind of torn between what to do in a certain situation. But I feel like, you know, this is a little bit of a test for you. You know, your ability to focus on something other than the obstacle is really what I would say is the test. So I feel in terms of money, like I say, there is something that is probably going to manifest a little further out. So there is going to be something of maneuvering that you might have to do here to sort of pull something off, because as I said, that Devil energy still speaks to there being some kind of resistance or some kind of level of disconnect or lack of control in some area, and it does feel around anger or that kind of thing. When I see the Emperor, and again, there's a new idea, there's something here that's allowing you to feel a little bit of motion in a particular direction in terms of, even with family, there's some kind of support in this direction that you're headed, because it does allow for you to, you know, be maybe more of an authority in a particular way, you know, or at least you're trying to conquer. It's kind of a conquering energy, and let's hope it's not conquering the family, but conquering something there, like I said, either trying to get an understanding of what this new idea is, something like that, or something is starting to appear that's going to give you a little bit more strength, or how do I say, or more focused. You're more focused on the idea that you feel empowered by, is kind of what I'm getting from that. Again, it still feels like this is where you have the ability to create more of a financial opportunity for yourself. You know, you're kind of in line with your impulse to move in this direction, but and maybe you are being influenced by another father figure, or by a figure that, you know, has some ability to assist you. But again, it sort of feels like something new is coming in here that you've not done before. And again, it just feels like it renews you in some way, whatever this is. Again, that Seven of Cups energy, because it is still so much around this Devil energy, I feel like a lot of the emotion is part of the problem here. That feels like it's more energy, could be fear, that kind of thing. Not really feeling like you have any control, or you're chained to a particular response, that kind of thing. Because I say that because there is some cards here of emotional, explosive kind of energy. So, and again, it could be substance abuse of some sort here too that's kind of pulling you back, or, you know, and the reason why I say that is because I do see some kind of run down sort of feeling, or at least, you know, when I went through the cards here about what the Devil was, the cards that came out, of course, were the High Priestess. I'll bring it through here again. But the High Priestess, but again, the High Priestess is sort of further out. And then, of course, we have the Page of Cups. So again, could be dealing with a child or something along that line as well. but it still speaks to a small kind of token or offering or something that's coming in that might be of assistance. The Four of Swords to me is you're just not quite, you're not feeling motivated, you are feeling stuck, you're not feeling like you can get ahead of a situation. It feels like you're still plugging away in the same sort of place. There is progress because of the six here, the Six of Swords. You are making progress, but again, there's a Tower moment here that kind of alerts you to the realization that you're not going to have what you were hoping to have in maybe a particular time, because again, there's something of a bit of a shock that throws you off balance here a little bit and kind of leaves you feeling confused about how to go forward. That cycle is ending, however. I do feel like, again, there's progress. I don't know that the money is coming in right away here. There could be some sense that family is around in terms of support. I don't really see an exchange of money here, but I do feel in terms of support there, that is there, but you feel stuck, and of course changing your perspective is going to assist you here. But again, I just feel like there's a lot of drain. You're feeling tired. There is some element here of Cancer water signs here as well coming through, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But certainly with the High Priestess, it does feel like there's something yet to be revealed. So money is still, I just don't see it here in the month of June specifically. It just feels like it is still a little further out in the wings. I mean, the High Priestess still is something yet to be revealed, something where you don't have all the information revealed to you to be able to make a decision. And maybe that's part of why this emotional worry is arising. But again, the High Priestess, follow your intuition, try different things. We all come with talents, whether it's untapped or not. The only way forward, of course, is to go out there and just explore a whole bunch of things until something takes, and then you realize, I'm actually good at that. So, I mean, if you're already focused on something in particular, which I do feel like you are for the most part here, it just feels like there's more of a new idea as well, in addition to, something that you've been doing, because you're transformed by something already. You're feeling differently. But again, we've got the Judgment card that's coming in under that as well. And it feels like you have to release something as far as the emotional aspect of something before you can really go forward and really take the initiative here with, rising from the ashes, like to make the transformation. Something has to change within you that you're having to release emotionally, enable for you to move into a more dynamic energy. Again, you don't have the full story when I see the High Priestess here. There's not enough information for you to kind of get into something. You have to probe a little deeper to find the solutions to your questions, that kind of thing. And then things will reveal in time. But again, I know time is of the essence, especially when it comes to financial affairs. A lot of times there's not enough time to wait for things. But, this is somebody who has the ability to, if you dive deep enough, I feel like you will actually, and again, because I see the Ace of Wands here, there is an answer, there's a solution. You do have the ability to focus on, trust your instinct on something here. But again, something emotionally is really in the way. And in terms of finances, again, I still feel like you just have to really dive a little deeper here to figure something out. Because even with that Page of Cups energy, that is still that energy of something small, like a little offer or a little token of some sort that may come in to assist you. But again, it may not be enough to kind of cover things. And maybe that's why the Devil energy and still a certain level of stress that is on you. But again, it's still moving in the right direction. Strong, again, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. But in terms of finances, I feel like you really need to listen to your intuition on something, about where to, get money, where to sort of figure out like the best, and I guess the best route here would be to explore rather than, like, don't let your mind get in the way of all the things you are not or that you are. Just try to stay productive with your emotions and your thought process, that kind of thing. Because I think if you allow yourself to lose sight, and to me that's what is happening there, you're sort of losing sight of the direction, emotionally. And that's why there's kind of this, again, toxic sort of explosive energy here toward the end of the month. So again, be aware. I'm consistently seeing the same energy coming out here. Again, I was hoping for something a little bit different. There is still some positive direction here, but for whatever reason, June is still a bit of a struggle for you. That Judgment card does tell me, for sure you are moving in the direction of something that's going to completely change your life in a particular way. But again, we still had that Hangman energy that came through there as well. So some kind of plan is being postponed, and I feel like you might be a little confused about that, about your direction. So you're just having to kind of go through a period of adjusting your point of view to be able to get out of this victim consciousness. You are feeling like you're stuck in a rut for sure. And again, there's some destructive habits, that kind of thing. They're taking away from the goal with that Chariot. That's kind of the direction I feel is happening there. So there's some destructive habits, that kind of thing, that are maybe overriding. And again, pressuring you to make you feel like you are trapped. And so that's toxic thoughts. But again, once you change your perspective about your finances, I feel you'll be able to unblock yourself, and then that's when the idea comes through. But if you stay in that energy too long, everything gets pushed out further and the money's not there. So, but yeah, Judgment card, like I said, is still a pretty, positive, transformative card, even though the Tower is sort of throwing things off toward the end of the month. Just be aware there's something there that needs to change. In terms of your thoughts and your patterns and the way that you lead your life, in terms of like physical health or something there. Because like I say, I saw the Four of Swords, so it feels like you need to take some kind of rest, but at the same token, there's a lot of energy that needs to go into getting something moving as well. So it's really about finding that balance. And I almost feel like you need to do it in a different way than you normally had been doing it. That's almost what it speaks to, because, you're feeling different about how you're moving forward. You see yourself in a different light. So there is an idea that's coming through, but, there's something else that needs to come into play here to, maybe balance things out financially for you for the next little while. But in terms of finances, like I said, there are some things that will move in your favor, but it's just, is it going to get there fast enough, is kind of what I'm sort of wondering here with that High Priestess. And I almost wonder if it really is just shy of June. And that's why I say it might be not a bad idea just to try to expedite things a little quicker here in the beginning of the month of June rather than later. The World card that came out, there is a card of success, and it certainly does read as, money that could be unexpectedly coming in, or a job that's unexpectedly coming in, or something that you were hoping for will come in. But again, it's still, because that Tower moment is there, it feels like it's just not in the nick of time. That's kind of what I would say there. So it seems to be pretty to the wire there. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, because do with it what you will. Like I said, energy is only energy. It's not predictions. You can always move things around and change the direction of this energy. It's just currently what's sort of forming around you with the mindset that you currently have. So again, I feel like once you're able to release some of this baggage and this toxicity, and maybe this is this demotivation here, and this lack of mobility, that could be part of the problem here as well. Maybe because it seems to be that the Chariot is a very, let's get things done, take charge, gotta get my everything together and move things along. But then all this energy here with the Devil, the Tower, and the Four of Swords kind of speaks to, I don't really feel like it, and to me, that for some of you could really be the scenario here. I don't really feel like it. there's progress being made with that Six of Swords, but it's like, I don't really feel like it. So, like I said, I mean, I think that could be to your detriment. That could be the problem here. So maybe you just need to find a little more, ask yourself the reason why, you know? Why do you need to survive? Why do you need your foundation? Why do you need, you know, something to come through here? And that reason why should be enough to propel you forward and get things done. You know, the important thing is your why. That's the strongest motivation, I would say. You know, keep it in line with your values and your belief system and all of that. And you'll remember yourself. You'll remember why you do anything. Anyway, that's what I have for you, Gemini. And again, I was hoping for something a little more positive there, but that Tower moment, that Devil card is still coming out here at the end of the month. So keep moving forward. Don't give up. And for sure, keep your ideas coming especially in the first early weeks of June, because I think you'll benefit from that. In the long run, and you might be able to, you know, put in enough hustle that you can actually turn some of this energy of stress and exhaustion and demotivation, you can turn that around. So anyway, that's it, and get back in charge of your life. So that's what I see for you, for, again, whoever this resonates for. It doesn't have to resonate for all of you. This is just, again, just a little bit of an extra read for the month of June, career, money, finance. So again, keep moving forward, never give up, remember your why.